Hello and welcome to Homer for Wednesday, October 1st, 2025. Today we'll be reading from lines 195 to 207, I believe, in Book 12 of the Iliad. Thank you so much for being here with me today, and let's get into this beautiful image of the eagle. While they were stripping from these their shining arms, meanwhile, the youths that followed with Polydamas and Hector, even they that were most in number and bravest, and that were most were fain to break through the wall and burn the ships with fire, these still tarried in doubt as they stood by the trench. For a bird had come upon them as they were eager to cross over, an eagle of lofty flight, skirting the host on the left, and in its talons it bore a blood-red, monstrous snake, still alive and struggling. Nor was it yet forgetful of combat, for it writhed backward and smote him that held it on the breast beside the neck, till the eagle, stung with pain, cast it from him to the ground, and let it fall in the midst of the throng, and himself with a loud cry sped away down the blasts of the wind. Wonderful. Let's sing it in the Greek. Sorry about that. It's I don't know why these strings are giving me problems right now. Anyway, let's do it. Offroitu scenaris dona bende amar mai ronda. Offroi puol ramam nica hectori cura apondo. Oi plestoi caristoi anemasan malista. Gusta rexen gaiam presen curineas. Rechlati mermeris dona festautes paratafroi. Onis cards fine pelti parresemenaim mauosim. Aiotus uipsi petese pariste allau anareogon. Voinen todra quanta paron non ucresi peloron. Då la spyron da kai på läta to karmes. Kopseraton lekota. Kopsigarauton a quanta catastathos paradere. I notte sopisoda poe. Oda poe ethneke kamas dei. Gessa so du nes me soiden. Du nesi me soiden I kabalomiloi. Autos de klangsas betatop noies en amoio. Wonderful. Sorry, I'm like a little under the weather, but it is what it is. We carry on here in the Homer YouTube channel. So we have a, stripping of the arms here, and then we have a bird. That's the big thing that I think is important here. So we were looking at Asios and what Asios is up to, right? Asios is like going towards the wall. And now we return to Polydamas and Hector, right? And I think it's important that we do that because they're the wise ones, obviously, right? So the Lapithai are like doing a great job, and Polydamas and Hector are like, looking at them. They're like, wait a minute, like we're all courageous, we're all like warriors, but is this really our battle? Like, should we really get involved with this seemingly bad assault against the wall, right? And of course, the answer here comes in a very clear way, I guess, or not so clear, for these soldiers who are hanging around. What is this? Right? Tarried in doubt as they stood by the trench, right? Ornis kasvin, they saw a bird, a pelathe per semenite memoosin, right? So came upon them, then desiring to go over memoosin, right? Ayatosupsipetes, pariste alaonawergon, right? And then this is my favorite part of it, foinen tatakonta, right? So it looks killingly. You know what I mean? It was, it has these paron onukresi paloron, zdornata spaironta, right? So bloody, killingly is like this, poinenta, right? Drakonta, right? Snake, right? It's got in its talons. This is like a common image actually, right? So shout out to the, what's this like, the Mexico City flag, you know what I mean? Like, these there's a lot of birds clutching snakes, right, in history, and I think it's very interesting. It's a very necessary cosmological bifurcation between that which goes on in the air, right, and that which goes on the ground. So even in early American history, for example, we really cared about the rattlesnake because the rattlesnake was the epitome of don't tread on me. The rattlesnake was almost the American mascot, actually, fun fact. So the fact that the eagle, which is the champion of the skies, is interacting with the snake, which is the champion of the ground, right, is a sort of posturing of these two extremely powerful forces going up against one another, and how even though it's bloody, right, it's still fighting back, right, and the eagle's I need to go and I need to go my own way. That seems to be the indication that the Trojans should also not go into battle. Which we'll hear more about tomorrow. But I think that it's this final line here, altos de klangsas petato pnoias anemoio, right? So itself, with a clang, right? It flew away on gusts of air, pnoias anemoio, right? A breathing of air, right? I think it's a very interesting, what's that? And himself the louder sped away, or klangsa, excuse me, right? Whatever the sort of impulse, right? It's I'm going away, right? This rush out of the wind is also interesting because when you watch an eagle, I don't think that it ever really seems like it's slowing down or speeding up. It seems to be just going very, very fast. But maybe once it drops the snake, it starts going faster. Or maybe also, this rush of wind is a God-sent way of encouraging the eagle to speed away. Many things to think about for this wonderful image, but we leave it at there so that we may pick up tomorrow as we hear about what the Trojans exactly think about this snake action. Thank you so much for listening today, and I hope you have a great day.